Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to what is a very exciting Build the Ghostbusters Ecto-1. It has been quite a while because I couldn't get parts. We're on issue 4 finally, and like the previous one, issue 4 is actually multiple stages. Stages 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to be doing stage 7 today. This is our parts tray, and I guess we'll get started. This is continuing the build from the engine. If you are not a fan of watching me build the engine on the DeLorean, this is probably not going to be much better. But, you know, stick with it if you do like engines, I guess. So, we'll get started. Like I said, it's been a while because they couldn't get parts. They were on back order. They finally came in, along with the license plate, which is kind of cool. I'll have a picture of that at the beginning of this video. I am still waiting on a binder for the Ghostbusters one. I got an IOU with the last kit saying, hey, we should have included a binder, but we didn't. So, I guess they're, you know, delayed on everybody. Hopefully I'll see that eventually. But, since I only have 4 issues, it's not so hard to keep track of everything. This does not want to open. There we go. Sorry that took a while. So, first thing we're going to do is start assembling some of these smaller pieces into bigger pieces. So this is going to be the front of the engine block and a couple of bits of the other side. You may remember that we have previously put together transmission and about a third of the engine. So this is going to continue that, though it will not be fully put together this week, next week, or for a while. So, step 1, we take this little bit, which is going to eventually hold some pulleys and belts, and we're going to attach, looks like a whole lot of water pump. That guy, so the pulley cover is die cast, this is plastic. This is going to go on the front of this guy. If I can make the pieces line up, which I can. So it's going to go together like that, but it does get screwed in from the back side with a couple of AP screws. Get my AP screws here. Get a couple of these installed. I have ordered, I think I mentioned it on the DeLorean videos, I have actually ordered some upgrade kits from Mike Lane Mods. So whenever those show up, I will do some videos on that. There's not a lot out available for the Ghostbusters build yet because it is still, I believe, a pretty early build. So, you know, when that becomes available, we'll see some more. I also need to attach, I skipped it, I missed a step. I missed step 1. I need to attach this little T-bracket to hold this onto the next piece. And this is attached with EM screws, 2 of them. Okay, so this is attached with some EM screws. Probably would have been easier if I hadn't put the other piece on first, but, you know, here we are. Okay, so that is the assembled front block cover with the T on the back. That T lets us attach it to the bit of engine that we had before, and that's going to be attached with a DM screw. And that just goes on the front here. This should all line up on a peg. Just like that. So that is attached to the front of the engine block. We're going to fill in some of the top now, and eventually some of the side will go on, or go together, won't go on. I think I get a couple of pieces in this kit that just get held off on the side without doing a thing. So there's 2 different bits here that are going to sandwich together. This is the kind of bottom layer of the top of the engine block, and the distributor is going to go on this. So we get this little 8-cylinder distributor. That is going to go in the keyway on here. the other keyway, not the one in the middle, but the one that's offset on the side. And it's going to go on so that that little tab fits in the keyway. I guess it doesn't push, it just sits in. Okay, never mind, that was dumb. I don't know what I'm doing. AP screw. So the keyway, it says push in, you know, and I thought it would snap or something, but it doesn't. It just sits and the keyway keeps it from rotating. So ignore what I just did there, because there was no additional push in for it to do. The keyway keeps the alignment. It does fit in the hole all the way to the bottom, all on its own. It's not a tight fit, it's actually quite a loose fit. But once it's in there, one AP screw on the bottom holds that on. Put that aside for a moment. We go to the top part of the top plate. That's this guy. We have a tiny little, if I can even figure out where it is, it must be this guy. Very small, I don't know what this is, 7H, a pipe joint. So very small pipe joint, which is also got a round bottom. With a tiny keyway. It's better than it could be. That's going to fit in and also be secured with a BP screw. I got two of these, so this should be the only use of this one in this kit. Very small plastic screw. May even have to go down a size on the screwdriver. Okay, so we're going to line this up, hold it together with one hand. And if you watch my other videos, you know how much trouble this is for me. Okay, so that keyway definitely helped quite a bit. Okay, so we got that little pipe joint on that cover. Now these pieces are going to sandwich together and get held together with a couple of AP screws. So that sits together like that, and then get secured from the underside here with AP screws. And that's two AP screws installed. So that's together that way. Like I say, secured on the bottom. You get another piece that goes on all of this. That would be this guy. So this is going to cover a bunch of that, and then eventually I believe the air filter is going to go on top of here. And by eventually, I think next week or 2 weeks from now. So this is going to go on. If I can figure out the orientation, it must matter. Oh yeah, well, one way the holes don't line up. Okay, so that's good. It's not possible to do this wrong because the holes on this side are spaced out differently than the holes on that side. So, okay, that was concerning. 4 more AP screws and we'll get this put together. One, we're going to do a star pattern like we're putting something on an engine block. Torque doesn't matter, I'm just doing it out of, I don't know, is it even habit at this point? It's like a weird, superstitious cargo cult behavior. Except that I know why you do it on other things. I'm going to go with cargo cult anyway. Okay, so that is the coming together top of the engine block. That tiny little pipe connector still in there. That'll be interesting to actually attach anything to, because it's pretty well buried. Put that to the side again for a moment. We're going to attach a doohickey to a thing. It's breather caps, and yeah, breather cap probably to a exhaust gas recirculator. Looking at this, but nope. This says it's a lower fuel pump. So lower fuel pump, sure, why not? And then breather to let air in. This is a carbureted system. I don't know what I'm thinking of. So these go together such that the pipe is going to be towards the open end of this fuel pumpy thing. Going to get held in with some EP screws. 2 of them, and they gave me 3, so this must be our only use of EP screws today. And then we'll get these attached. It may take a moment to do that. Trying something slightly different with the video today. So, see how that comes out. Just gotta secure these in. Okay. So So that is our breather and fuel pump assembly here. Now this is going to go on this block that we've got built here, on that keyway that I was looking at before, mistakenly. And this is going to get us secured with an AP screw again. One more AP screw for this part. And that's going to go through the bottom here. And this is going to go on and fit the key. Okay. So that's that installed. Now this is going to go onto the engine block that we have already. Actually, it's not. First, the oil pan's going to go on. Keep thinking I got parts that I don't have in my hands. A couple more EM screws because we're going into the metal of the body. Actually, we're not even going to secure the other piece that I've put together. It just sits in. So I'll show you what it looks like sitting in, but the screws are only to get this oil pan on. Okay, so there's an oil pan installed, and again, we're still hollow on this side. But they say to fit this on, again, we're not actually screwing it in yet, but this is going to go on those two posts, if I can make it fit. Well, that's a big if. I don't know why this doesn't want to go. There we go. Okay, so it's not bolted in yet, but it's actually pretty well secured. So it fit on those two posts. Took a little bit of wiggling to get everything around on the top here. I still don't like that. It doesn't look right. Yeah, it helps if you get the other things lined up right. Okay, I had something else misaligned, so now it's a better fit. That looks better. I was trying to figure out how this plate could ever be useful with that fuel pump over it, but it's not. It's just almost over it. That's much better. There we go. That's what it's actually supposed to look like. I didn't have this part in the right position. Okay, so that's off to the side. There's one more piece to install using DM screws. It's another motor mount bracket, and it's going to go on the other side of the engine block. And that will sit aside, as will the exhaust manifold that I haven't touched at all today. So, exhaust manifold not going anywhere today. Off to the side. Side of the engine block and a motor bracket. That's our last install for today. A couple of DM screws. Alright, well, that's as good as I'm going to get it. So, there's the motor mount on the side of the engine block. That is, after some more parts go on, going to go over here. Looks a little silly minus the other parts right now. So, probably even have it backwards. I do. No, I don't know. I was right, more or less. It's going to go somewhere around like that. But we'll get to that when we finish the build. And in the meantime, that's it for this week. Next week is more engine block assembly. We put the cylinder head on here, and we get this attached to the side, and we go on from there. If you like what you're seeing, click the cat to subscribe. There's a playlist for the DeLorean build that goes up on Saturdays, and continuing the Ecto-1 build for Wednesdays. Keep watching. Have a good one, guys.